7:11 now. Welcome back. Dr. Charlotte Tomeno is a clinical neuropsychologist has dedicated her life to helping patients with severe brain trauma. And in her book, Awakening the Brain, she writes about the power of the human spirit to overcome great obstacles and the effects of thought and spirituality on the brain. Dr. Tomeno, and that's something you know something about. I understand you're a former nun.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you were just saying during the break that that faith and spirituality, those come in handy, and you have a PhD in this area. So what have you learned about the workings of the brain?
The brain is something we're only just starting to learn about. There's a whole lot we don't know, but we've discovered very key parts of the brain in terms of our ability to focus and regulate our emotions that give us an awakening, a consciousness, an awareness of how we're working inside.
Isn't that kind of interesting that we can put a man on the moon, but we can't figure out the landscape of the material that makes it possible for that to happen?
Exactly.
So what does it mean to awaken the brain then?
When I use awaken the brain, I'm really talking about our awareness of how we're working. So if I get a big reaction, I don't necessarily have to have those words come out of my mouth. I can stop and think, what is that information? What's it telling me? How do I want to use it? So being awake to how it works gives you control over it.
Okay. And so how can the average person strengthen their ability to focus? Are there exercises?
Sure, there's lots of exercises. The part of the brain, the cingulate that you see there, is the part of the brain that controls our focus. Meditation is one of the best methods for controlling your focus, just letting thoughts go when you don't want to follow them, just being able to choose what comes out of your mouth. One of the things that we know is that kids who exercise before class compared to those that exercise after class can focus better in class and learn better.
That's interesting. You mentioned meditation. Is one particular type more favorable? We've heard of transcendental meditation and perhaps many other forms, but does it really matter what kind of meditation one does?
No, it doesn't. There are many different types and they all have different influences, but all of them require that you focus on something and stay with it, and when your mind wanders, you get control again.
I was going to say that, sorry, that seems to take a lot of practice, at least speaking for myself, because when I try to do that, our brains are really active and they want to just go off in their own little tangents all the time, right?
All the time. And it's actually more challenging now with the technology because we're getting bombarded all the time. So things are capturing our attention and we have to take it back.
Exactly. And it's tough to do. So is it just a matter of practicing?
It's just a matter of practicing, and I'm at the point that I can interrupt myself mid-thought.
Really?
You know those thoughts that just play in your head and play in your head?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I just say, I don't really want to think this, and I just interrupt myself.
So it's just practice makes perfect, or at least better. The brain-body compass, can you talk about that phrase and what it means?
Yes, there's knowledge in our bodies. We have sensations in our heart, in our stomach, in our muscles, and it all means something. Being able to read the compass is the trick. We all know about gut sense, but what does it really mean to me right now? That's the brain reading the compass.
Okay, and there are some sort of tips, if you will, some items we can put up on the screen here, or just some bullet points that we can talk about, right? And can we put those up, Sue? There we go. So can we talk about these?
Sure. One of the things that happens is we have automatic reactions, and so you can change how you think about that. You don't have to be your emotions. You can say, I don't really want to go there. Stop, focus on what you do want to go, where you do want to go, and then breathe. Just breathe. Take deep breaths in and out, and your heart will just slow down. Then just let your shoulders come down.
Yeah.
Because we tend to get into that tension in the shoulders.
I've found too, and tell me if if I'm on the right track. Sometimes when I take that deep breath, I could be driving, I could be doing anything, but I'll hold it for a few seconds because it's almost like, I think of the lungs as being like a balloon that maybe when it's been shriveled up for a while, it gets all crunched up like that, and it needs to sort of expand out to really just blow out all those little crinkles and cracks and get all that in there. Now I know we have more tips. So is that, by the way, is that on the right track?
That's it. That's
just getting that body to relax.
And when you breathe in and then breathe out longer than you were breathing in, everything just relaxes.
So you really blow out the poison,
when you get
so
to that, yes, but when you get to that point of ease, you actually think better. You think more clearly. You're not locked into the problem.
Certainly feel physically better immediately, I find.
Yes.
All right, and these other items, that wasn't the full list there, so it says here, read your brain-body compass. You were talking about that a moment ago. And Any particular tricks to starting to understand that, by the way? To go,
well,
okay, this means this.
Reading it, you know, we all have had times when our thoughts are saying no and our body is saying no, but we're smiling and saying yes.
All the time.
All the time. And alignment, where you really have your heart in what you're doing and you're totally there, that is the best state for us to be in.
It's a pure honesty, isn't it?
It is. It's that authenticity where you really feel good about what you're doing.
Not belie yourself, right?
Yeah, and that's when you are the healthiest.
I would think so. Now, choosing your approach, what does that mean?
It means this kind of alignment is a choice. Okay. And I use the word neuro-choice because each one of these choices affect your nervous system, affect your brain, and align you with either the direction of your health or not.
Gotcha. Interesting. And you work out of White Plains, right?
I do. I have a private practice in White Plains. We do brain rehabilitation. We work with kids, adults. Everybody's got a brain.
Yeah. All right, and better to use it as much as we can. Dr. Tomaino, thank you so much for being here.
You're very
I've learned
welcome.
a lot in just a very few minutes, and we appreciate it. Awakening the Brain, she's the author of that, Dr. Charlotte Tomaino, and if you want more information, you can go to WTNH.com, click on Good Morning Connecticut. So what this means is that even if it rains like crazy, I can just let it all go, Erica Martinez.